It's not my job to commit to committing offenses with my mouth, telling grown people, you should have pulled out of a marriage. And you should have pulled out of the relationship. You should have pulled out of the bedroom. Everybody want to get scared.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Assalamu alaikum, peace. It's Fatimah, Coach Fatimah, 1/3 of Outstanding Personal Relationships and co-author of the new book, Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. Now in this video, let's talk about polygamy. He should have pulled out. Now I'm bringing this topic up because it's important. And it's important because of a couple reasons, but let's get into the first. Now, I find this to be really relatable for myself in my journey because as an initial wife, I've had many people come at me with different things and ask different questions. And that's fine, and I welcome it to a certain degree because some people can go too far and they don't observe boundaries and they don't read the room. Now, if they don't read the room, then they're going to get read by me. Because I can tell when things are intentionally said. Now, one of the things that can be intentionally said by some that just don't know, or they're trying to make you feel better, is, why didn't he just divorce her? Why didn't he just pull out of the marriage and back up and just be like, no? And I said he can't, because that is a contract. Similarly, but different contractually than my own marriage. So I'm not going to tell my husband, who's grown, divorce her. I'm upset. I'm hurting. Divorce her. That's not my job. That's not what I do. And I'd warn any woman that loves and is in love with a good man not to do that. Because what if the roles were reversed and people were pushing for him to divorce you? Now, I'll tell you a personal story. Very, very dear friend of mine of 25 years, and I know that girl loves me so much. Like that, I would say maybe a month after I found out Coach Nyla got married, he gave me the information. My friend said, in a moment of frustration, she was like, "Can't he just divorce her? Like, can't he just undo it?" And I looked at her and I said, "It's a contract." I said, "And he doesn't want to." Now, mind you, I'm hurting. I'm upset. I'm trying to figure out who I'm married to. I'm wondering why, all this stuff like that. And then I said, am I approachable? Now, I'm a firm believer in, I can understand a man being afraid or saying, okay, I have concerns about approaching my wife. She showed these things to me. I'm worried. But a man's, personality and his power and his strength and his leadership takes him to where he gotta go, even if it's gonna hurt people. So even though you might be hurting or it might stress you out and you feel devastated and gutted, let me tell you, to know it versus not knowing, then you can kind of say, okay, at least I know this information and the respect level. Now, sometimes men are damned if they do and damned if they don't. We're not going to act like that either. We're not going to act like that's not a thing either. Because you could be the nicest wife in the world, turn a complete dragon once you get the information beforehand, or vice versa. But for me personally, the respect level would have went up versus down. Now, for my friends, I knew she was speaking out of desperation, but she said something to me that was so powerful. She said, you know what, let me not stir your pot. I said, that's good. I'm glad you said that. I appreciate it. Because I've done all that myself. I've said all that stuff to myself. And it's nonsensical because it's a contract. You either honor, follow through, commit to fully and wholeheartedly like you did mine. And my marriage and my nikah and my wedding was private. Everybody wasn't invited. I didn't want everybody there. I didn't want the bad energy. And they absolutely deliberately were not invited. And they knew why. It wasn't a secret. They knew why they weren't going to be there. Because the relationship that I have with you is important to me enough to say, you know what, if it's toxic, you ain't coming. And I never felt bad about it. So I don't look at someone else's marriage, even in my own husband, and say, you know, let me tell you something. These are the boundaries I have for your marriage. You should observe. One of which is, I'm upset, get rid of her. I don't get to tell him that. He's grown. I don't get to make that decision for him. He's an adult. Because the fun fact of this whole thing is that I'm married to Coach Nyla. I'm not married to Coach Nyla. So the conversation that we owe each other as husband and wife is the one that we're going to have together. Just like anybody else. So creating those healthy boundaries is important. And one of them is not saying, well, you know what, polygamy, you should have pulled out. You should have backed out of that. I'm upset. My family's upset. Our friends are upset. They're going to be upset if they love you. And then on top of that, if they don't have information, if this is all new and all foreign to them, expect that they will be upset. Now, my father didn't like it, but he understood it. Because he felt like it could have been done differently, but he wasn't the one to really point the finger at people. Because there's much that he should have done differently in his lifetime. The other part of that is that polygyny, he should have pulled out. Meaning, we have so many wives dictating to their husband what they should be doing in the bedroom with the co-wife. You want to want kids? Is she pregnant? You better wear a condom. She better be having her potions, pills, and powders so she don't get pregnant. It's not your business. So what ends up happening is that we'll respect the sanctity of the initial marriage and respect the fact that that's not our business at bedroom talk, pillow talk. But then when it comes to subsequent marriage, and we're all wives, when it comes to subsequent marriages, let's just talk reckless and be violent, tell him what he should do, what he shouldn't do. My husband's from big numbers. There's a lot of people in his family. And he would refer to them as relatives. Because families move different than relatives do oftentimes. That's why the distinction is made. Well, I want 10 kids. And if I go, no, I had 7, we're done. You don't get to have 10. I don't get to tell them that. I don't. I would never dream of it. My co-wife would never do the same to him. She wouldn't do that. And have 2 bonus babies. Bonus adults. But it's not my job as a wife, as an initial wife, as a subsequent wife, as a wife, period, to tell him what to do with his parts. Because, see, I don't want to hit my husband with my words, although I have done that before. I've done that before. And sometimes you don't know. Because then we got to kind of study what men find to be respectful and disrespectful. Because in our minds, we might be saying, I don't know why he's mad. What happened? But when they get done breaking it down, then let's not repeat offend. Because, see, I don't want to hit him with his words. I don't want to hit my co-wife with her words. I don't want to hit people with my words. Well, what they going to get hit with is this healing. And let's be triumphant. So if we've had trauma, let's look for the triumph and stop trying to find things that they're doing wrong. Nobody is going to get in these comments, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, get on IG, be snarky, disrespectful, immature, and tell me, you know what, I don't like what your husband did. Divorce that good man. He could have did that better. He know what he could have did better. He doesn't need me to rerun and rewind plays and do all this stuff for him. Because you know what? A woman taught me this, who had been in monogamy, divorced, and then went into polygyny. She said something to me. She said, Fatimah, he can't be happy in his other home and you're hurting. I said, because he just went on with his life. That ain't what this is. Because people that love us, They will still go through the motions of life and have happiness within their day. But I'm still thinking about you. I still love you. I still want this to get better. I still want us to heal. I still want to do the work and make the commitment. So it's not my job to commit to committing offenses with my mouth, telling grown people, you should have pulled out of a marriage. And you should have pulled out of the relationship. You should have pulled out in the bedroom. Everybody want to get scared. But it's not our business. So no saying you should have used the condom. You shouldn't have any more children. We had enough. You don't get to make the decision. The man is grown. So it's not our job to mother him. Mama had her chance. He can stand on his own 2 feet. Being supportive, being approachable, being willing to have the conversation. Open up spaces to have the conversation is important in polygyny. Because then we will have some clarity with our spouses. We can help one another, share the information, and not look for the thing that's doing wrong, the thing that you ain't gonna like a lot of things. Because they're outside of your control. And one of the major parts of marriage that is outside of our control and outside of the control of our co-wives is what we do in the bedroom with our husband in our monogamous marriage. I'm not married to Coach Nyla, I'm married to Coach Nazir. That's who I'm married to. So we don't consult each other as wives about what we do or what we don't do. That's not our business, and we filed it there. Filed under not our business, and we don't go there, we don't talk about this stuff. We never have. Respect the parameters of polygyny. Respect the fact that these people are adults, and so are you. And we're too old to lie and throw tantrums. So, don't offer you should divorce her, pull out of the marriage, pull out of whatever sexual activity you have going on with her, because I'm hurting and I don't like it. Just because you're hurting and you don't like something doesn't mean you get to humiliate one another. Because once your husband experienced humiliation, it's hard to come back and cuddle up under you. Because if we keep saying you should have pulled out, you should have pulled out of that marriage, you should have pulled out of that relationship or out of her so you don't have children, and then when he doesn't want to cozy up to you, don't be surprised and don't look startled, because it is so disrespectful to talk to a man like he's a child. And he's a good man. He's a good man. Okay? So I had to say that because that matters. It's important, because too many co-wives are stepping on each other's toes, being violent with their mouth, texting in these phones, getting in Facebook, and telling grown people what to do and what not to do. You want to pull them closer? That's not going to work at all. It could be hurting. These things can be happening to you. But that doesn't mean you go around and command of 2 consenting married adults. Nobody's being held hostage here at OPR. We all decided that we're going to stay married to him. He's going to stay married to us. Is it infinite? No, it's not. Anything can happen. But right now, this is where we all want to be. And no amount of hatred in any comment or whatever is going to change that, change me, change him, change Coach Nyla. It's just not. It just won't. So I'm just going to have such a good day outside of it all. I will. Because I work too hard on my healing. And I want to help other people. Okay? And I want to feel what the peace of being humble. The peace of being humble. Because I remember what it felt like to be chaotic. So, if you don't know where you stand, we have something that's so awesome. And that's our polygamy readiness assessment. So head on over to outstandingpersonalrelationships.com. It'll take 5 to 7 minutes to fill out. You're going to want to do it and you get your scores. It's awesome. I love it so much. Please head on over to there and share this video with others, because sharing is caring. Also, comment, like, and subscribe and hit the notification bell, because you're going to want to know when we go live. You're going to want to know when we upload and have some new information for you, because these things are important, and we want to make sure we keep on having and having a platform for voices that aren't heard, or people that are suffering in silence, because we remember when we were, and it wasn't pretty, it wasn't fun. We don't wish it on anybody. So it's awesome that you're here. So we want you to come on back. Again, I'm Coach Fatimah. I'm going to leave you guys with some GLC. So make sure you're growing intentionally, loving fearlessly, connecting on a higher level every single day. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sonic. Peace.